Hi guys, Dorota, Palicka International Nail Artist and Educator here, and I'm in with Ramona, and today we are going to do actually a full nails from the scratch, and I'm so glad I've got her here. So I'm starting by pushing back the cuticles. She had her nails done before, and I can see there is a little bit of the redness from the gel which has came off. So we're just gonna make them nice and strong. Also, one nail is a little bit shorter, so we will need to extend it to match the rest. What I did now is I used the blue scrub to dehydrate the nail plate in case if there is any oils on the natural nail plate. And then we are gonna do a little bit of the cuticle work. So what I want to do is I want to remove the cuticle which is on the nail plate only. I'm not doing the nail folds at this stage, so cleaning just a cuticle on the nail plate. I will also give you a link in the description of the video of the e-file I'm using. I actually find it is pretty nice, even for a salon use. So that is awesome. And the beads I'm using, they are available on our website as well. I will give you the link in the description of this video. So here I have to be careful because it looks like this cuticle have been done. So you don't want to overdo it, those kind of places. And Ramona mentioned it to me that she had some gel which came off completely, and she works as a
restaurant.
in a restaurant. Okay, so that means she's using her hands a lot, and I don't know what kind of product she had before, but she mentioned that she would like to get a hard gel. Personally, I do not apply a hard gel over the natural nails because it's more likely that this is gonna chip and comes off. So we are going to do a fiber gel in a bottle, which is much more flexible and better for the natural nails, preventing the jumping of the product off, but also is strong enough to make the natural nails much stronger. What I'm doing now is I'm scratching the surface of the natural nail. Do that in here as well. So just reshape them. And her favorite color is white, so we will have to do something in white so she likes them. So I'm just scratching a natural nail. And when you're working with the natural nails, especially the ones which had some products before, like you have to be really precise, but also, so like I want the nail to be nice and white from the scratches, but also at the same time you don't want to overfile that nail, because overfiling will cause our issues of the product lasting not well, but also not enough scratches will give us issues with the product coming off. I have to keep checking if I'm in the camera, so Patrick is not upset later on. Now this one we need to just shorten down to 0 and put small extensions. I can, thank you. It's okay, you're doing great. So you could see I had a little bit of tension the way Ramona held her hand, and I always, guys, always remind my clients like to keep the hand nicely relaxed, because otherwise you will be struggling like doing this job for many years. Now this one is quite short, but we should get a nice shape out of it. Even if we've got a missing corner, we can fill up later on with some fiber gel without of the form, and I'm gonna show you that. So give some nice scratches. Same on this one. I'm probably gonna do it like on and record it like if the battery allows me the entire process, so you can guys also see it how I do it if I've got the client like from the scratch, perfect other hand. So it's funny, I usually start from the index finger, follow to the middle finger, and then I finish to the thumb. It's just my kind of routine because the thumb has a different direction to the rest of the nails, and I'm just following. Doing that way my product doesn't run from the thumb because it's done always as last. Okay, scratch it nicely. Again, at the same time that you don't overfile the natural nail. This one is a little bit overdone on the sides. So again, nice scratches. So I'm always filing nail nice and straight. And then I'm coming up to do the corners, even if it's going for a square shape, unless someone really wants like a square nails. I personally not a big fan of like a typical square nails because they tend to fan out at the free edge, and it just doesn't look best. So taking off those corners a little bit give it much nicer shape. And this one I have to be like extremely careful just to smooth it out, even not file it till the entire like the wanted results, because when we put the fiber gel we can also reshape that free edge. So I'm not gonna shape it completely. Can you do this one? Give it nice scratches. It looks almost like, have you removed them yourself? Like, yes, it looks like the client removed them a little bit, help it herself, because I can see it. The nail plate is a little bit overfiled, so I have kind of almost left some places. So normally I would give it a slightly better prep to the natural nail. I'm not gonna do that because the fiber gel will last it even in that case, and it's a better to go that way rather than overfile the natural nails. Okay, now we need to trim the cuticles, and I'm gonna do just a first round because I got the feeling the client did her cuticles as well. Yes. So the client did her cuticles as well, and some places are pretty overdone again. So I'm just gonna do it a tiniest amount ever, then apply the product, and after we finish the filing I will tidy up the cuticles a second time. Okay, so only a minimal work because those nail folds are abused. Okay, this one I'm not touching, we will e-file it at the end. And usually what is happening, guys, if you do remove your cuticles excessively, you kind of almost sending a message to the brain that there is a damaged tissue, and then the cuticles actually grow. This is even not a cuticle, it's like a nail fold really. It's just growing bigger. So by doing actually minimal cuticle work, we kind of stop them growing that badly. And I do have a really great example on the clients which do constantly play with the cuticles, or like an example of Olivia, which usually don't have her cuticles done. Her cuticles are just perfect, and honestly, like the less you can see it, like this is all overdone. That's why we've got so many raggy bits and pieces. So at the end we will try to smooth it out, and I'm actually happy we've got this client here because I can show you different things, which is awesome. Okay, so remove the dust, make sure there is nothing on it, and then dehydrate the nail plate again with the blue scrub. So nice and squeaky clean. The white places, that's the places where the nail has been damaged as well. You can see there is quite a lot of those white places, but we'll make them nice and pretty at the end. I'm also needing a one sculpting form. So make sure everything is clean properly. Sculpting form N. And I don't have to even cut the form because her nails are pretty nice, I would say. So just close the form and let's try it. When I'm placing a form for client, I usually try to hide their view. So I'm going like and hiding their view so they don't see it what I'm doing, because otherwise they tend to help me too much. And quite often it's resulting in a form been applied not straight, or I have difficulty to applying that form. But if I hide the client view like this, it is much easier for me to apply this form. An extra nail prep, which is an nail dehydrator. I like to always dehydrate twice, like it makes my nails last much longer, which results in a happy clients. Okay, so do it on the entire set. And then we are gonna wait a couple seconds for it to dry and apply universal air bond. So universal air bonds, as the name says, is an universal bond which can be used on gels, acrylics, fiber gels, and it acts like an bonding gel, with this difference that you don't have to cook it in a lamp, which is absolutely fantastic because that saves you so much time. And also I find it like, because of the application of it, my clients' nails again last a really nice and long time. I'm not bothered about, like, I've got some fluff underneath of the nails, that's a nail. I'm not bothered too much about it because after the fiber gel application we still have to reshape the nails and file them nice. Without of doing so, you could do it without, but without of doing it, like, I feel they are not as nice. The color we are gonna use is a satin pink, just because, so that's a fiber in a bottle, because my client likes light white nails, and I feel like this will be a perfect color combination. So I'm just picking up a scoop of it and apply it nice and thin layer through the entire nail. So nice and thin layer everywhere, kind of like try to almost press it even pretty decent into the nail plate. I find it like by pressing those thin layers into the nail plate makes a really big difference in the lasting time as well. Okay, then we can start building this one. So building the extensions with the Build Your Gel like a full set, I think it will be, guys, pretty difficult because the brush is pretty soft, I would say. So I usually, instead of doing that way, I'm just going sideways, and I tend to just build up that extension, usually quite messy, to be honest, because the brush doesn't have this precision. We could probably pick up product with our normal gel brush. I usually just go like this. Now cure it in. So because we have done the extension nail, I want to just freeze the product so it doesn't run, and then I can apply the product on another nails. Again, I will want my right hand to be ready before the left hand, so usually I will do less nails in here. So we're just going for 2, change. And then I want to finish this ones. Probably I can't because the form, so I will leave the thumb for later because the thumb nail is not gonna cure properly because the form is quite long. Now here we've got those missing corners, so what I'm doing straight away, I'm trying to build up into that missing corner, just like this, change, and let it freeze it. Okay, press, brush it on pretty decent and hard, making sure you've got out enough product on the sides. Change again. Okay, it will be probably a time to pull that in. You have to be careful to make sure it's cooked properly before you do that. But yes, we can freedom that nail, and straight away I can apply the product on the thumb. So for the client which is very light-handed, I would probably do it everything in a one layer. Here, because I know clients use the hands a lot, we are gonna build up a mini apex. Change. Again, we need to somehow extend the free edge at the pinky, so I'm just trying to add as much as we can. Change. And then let's start building our apex. So again, nice and thin layer, and this thin layer is enough product on your sides, at your free edge, and around the cuticle area. Okay, because it's a morning time and I'm fresh-brained, guys, sometimes like my brain just doesn't work by the evening time, I can do more nails. So I'm gonna do probably 3 at the same time. I also smooth out this transition here. Pick up a bigger scoop now, and then just build up the apex right in the middle. Don't go too much to the sides, because by the time you finish applying it on your third nail, the first nail is gonna be ready. So another one, and then a big scoop in here, because we have built it up a fresh extensions. Try to don't play with your product too much to don't create the air bubbles. Change. And as you could see it, I didn't put the product right down to the free edge because the free edge was far too long on that extensions and there was no need for that. Again, here I don't want this hand to be finished before my other hand. I'm only doing one nail. Change. And then I can do it this one. Again, I will be doing only this one because I want to extend that free edge as much as possible. I know it looks bulky, but that doesn't matter. We'll file away this bulk. Change. Also keep watching if my camera is still alive. So probably I might maybe show you 1 or 2 nails how I file and then recharge the battery and come back when we do the design on those nails. So build up small apex in here. Change. Okay, now it's a time for a thumb, and it's perfect because this hand is gonna just stay in the lamp and cure it. So I will be having like a 60 seconds to apply the product on the other hand. That saves me lots of time if I'm working that way. Change. Okay, so now I've got 2 nails to apply the product on, and my right hand is just cooking. That's why I'm also using a 1 lamp, because I wouldn't be, I don't know, any faster. Then build up the apex on this one. And I'm sliding this hand on top of the other hand. I've got a couple seconds to tidy up my desk. So bin the stuff, we don't need it. This ones I always keep on for a nail art. Like, guys, this is so awesome way because you just put your stuff and then you just bin it. Then I take the top hand. And now I've got time to apply the product on the thumbnail. And because it's a 1 nail, I'm just gonna go for like a full application straight away, so a little bit thicker, and then quite a lot of product. So I'm putting my bottle like on the bottom so I could pick up a really large scoop of the product, like really nice and big scoop. And the product is nicely self-leveling as well. We can cook the thumb on the sides, and then once they cook we can file them. Perfect, my right hand is cooked. So we are gonna shape it, and I will show you on a 1 or 2 nails how I'm doing it. So UV cleanser to remove the, actually on 3, so pinky is nice and perfect. I'm gonna leave it and do it outside the camera. I will shape those 3 nails because we had those missing corner and we had extension on this one as well. So put your products away, and then first of all we need to make the side walls nice and equal. So I'm just touching up like this, nice and straight. File everything around the cuticle area because you want to blend the product with a nail. And then file the free edge. See, that's why I wasn't bothered about the things in there. Okay, that's pretty enough. I can go and do the same in here. So sides first. Free edge, so quite a lot of bit, but I don't have to, the filing didn't took long because as I told you when I was applying the product, I try to don't apply too much till the end of the free edge because I knew it, I will need to shorten it. I just always prefer to do it a little bit more so I don't have to reapply the form in case if there is not enough product. Very gentle here in this area because this nail folds is pretty overdone. And again, blend the product like so everything looks really nicely blend. Okay, we shape it more and then thin out the free edge because we want to imitate a natural nail. So I wanted it to look like a natural nail with the product over it. Okay, happy with this one. Now we need to shape that nail, so one side, other side. So I've got bulk of the product in here, but I need to watch it to don't touch that corner here because that's the corner which we have tried to save. And then remove the excess and the bulkage of the product because they will be a bulk of the product because we try to build up that corner. I like to redust it to see how the things looks. and that's enough with the file. Okay, our next step is to grab the white buffer. So I'm filing pretty fast with the white buffer. Of course, I'm always removing the sharp edges from any files. File it from underneath to remove any bits and pieces. And this area is not filed yet. So do it the same in here. File it nice and decent. Remove bits and pieces. Smooth it out. Do the same in here. Clean it. And then use the gray buffer. Nice and gently, we want to blend those sides. You can see it, how much the things change once we start blending those sides. Around the cuticle area, again, you want to have the product to be really nicely blended in. And this way you cannot see where the product is starting. It also prevents the lifting as well. Very carefully here because this nail fold is overdone. So a gentle, very gentle bath. I also love this buffer as well because quite often I can even smooth out the nail folds of my clients. They actually love it, how they look after that as well. In this case, we are going to use also some small ball to file those nail folds more. So we've got another nail ready, and then the index finger. So blend it. See how the things are changing in this corners. You cannot leave the product like that in the corner. Sometimes if I feel like this is not enough, I would go back to my file and just touch it up with the file and then smooth it out. At the same time, I'm filing my client's nail folds. Okay, see this side and this side, so much of a difference. Okay, gently, and here you can even push back the cuticles, so the shape of the file is awesome because you're also giving an extra push back to the cuticle. Keep blending this area. You don't want to see the product where it's starting, so later on we just put the top coat in there and you cannot see how the nails are growing, and this is awesome. Okay, this area starts to look much nicer as well. Yeah, so they are ready for a cuticle tidy up, and we are gonna grab the bowl. So it comes in this set of the beads. Just a wee tiny bowl, and then file the nail folds. Again, not excessively, so I've got a speed of around 15, and I'm just filing and here to make the things prettier. See the difference? Here I have to be gentle, but because I have finished the filing, I am not that worried that I could cause any trauma to the client, because we've got just color to apply on those nails, so we can clean the nail folds now. Okay, put it back into the reverse and do the other side. So now I'm right on the nail fold. This one is overdone, so I'm just gonna be very gentle. And then I'm gonna do that on all of the nails and come back to you. Okay, that's them all filed and done. And guys, like another thing which I really would like to mention it to you, this is much stronger manicure than I would normally do. And the reason for it is Ramona is from Romania.
Yeah.
Romania. Her nail folds are completely different. Like if I would carry out those type of manicure into my Scottish ladies, we would have like butchers here, honestly. So not every nail folds are suitable for those kind of manicures. You do really need to remember it when you're doing your clients' nails, that you need to judge how much work you can actually carry out. So do please really remember it. Now I'm just dehydrated the nails from the touches. I'm also removing any dust particles which might be on it. Switch off the fan, wipe the surface so the dust particles don't fly everywhere, and then we can carry out the design. I've got the back of the form and here with my sponge and the tiny bits and pieces of my French gel left. Guys, like, I mean, I'm addicted to this gel. Like, it's the most amazing product you could ever get. And if you don't have it, like, just go and grab it. Honestly, it's so amazing for all sort of design. So yeah, mine is just right at the end, as you can see it. And still plenty of the product in there. So what I'm doing, let me check if we're in the camera, I'm just slapping it, whatever, on every single nail. Just a tiny bit. Remove fluff from my sponge. And now with the sponge, so I'm pulling my client's nail folds down the way so I don't touch the skin. And then I'm gently brushing away. You almost don't want to see the product because this way you are blending it nice. So I'm concentrated only on this area here. I'm not bothered about how pigmented it is. We will go for a pretty high fade because Ramona likes white nails, so the more white we will do it, the nicer it will look. And also I think it will also make the nails look longer and much prettier as well. So I'm fading it really high up, all the way up in here. If you've got some bits and pieces which you're not happy, grab your cuticle pusher and straight away wipe it away. Straight away wipe it away, yeah. And then retouch it before you cure it. Put it inside. Okay, then we are gonna do it just exactly the same in here. Pull those nail folds down so you don't apply the product on the client's nails. I've got some air bubble in here, did I? Yeah, no, that was a dust particle. If I would have an air bubble, what I would do it is I would try to don't put the white in there, and then when we apply the top coat, you can easily fix the, I call it pitting hole actually, because it's an air bubble which has burst, and then during the filing, and then the dust particles get stuck in there. So you could apply the top coat, wiggle into that hole, and then the top coat is gonna actually flow and fill it up. Perfect change. Our next layer. So I'm just picking up another scoop of the product. Oh, thank you. You are a clever girl. Ramona just saved my work. Imagine she would put it inside the lamp and it would cook. So she didn't put her thumbnail, and I was like, what is going on? And then I see it. I didn't blend the product. So thank you so much. This can go in. Talking too much, not concentrating on what I'm doing. So she saved my nail. Otherwise, if it would happen, I will have to file it away. Now I'm just applying it into a very messy French manicure, I would say. So apply it like a messy French, nice and messy. And then using your sponge, don't go up too high. You just want to gently blend that area. So now we are just concentrating on the end part. Okay, I'm just blending that area. You can see the middle is still messy. So the top is nice, the bottom is pretty nice, but the middle is messy. But we'll do it middle at the end. So normally I'm much faster when I'm doing these things, but I'm kind of trying to slow down to show you how I'm doing it. And try to don't do it into lines. So you have to either have like going up to the top or going like into reverse smile line shape, because otherwise it just doesn't look nice. Okay. Pull those nail folds down. Also, my sponge is clean at this part, change. So usually work like the clean part of the sponge can touch the client's nail folds, but the part of the sponge which has lots of product in it cannot touch your client's skin. And I love sponging techniques, guys. You can do so many unbelievable and amazing designs with it, like all the fades, ombres, like tie-dye design, lots of amazing ideas like with the sponge technique. It's one of my favorite ones to do it in a salon, and very impressive as well. But just make sure you work nice and clean so there is no fluffy bits and pieces. Change. Now I've got some product left over on my sponge, and that's the product I'm gently massaging into my middle part to blend the things. And this way we've got a beautiful and gentle gradation of the baby boomer or faded French, depending how you call it. Okay, you can see it, how nicely it did fade it in. So just with whatever you've got left on your sponge. You don't want to put too much product because then it will become difficult. So sometimes I've got some fluff on the left corner and here. I would just pick it away and remove it on my form. If you want to go really nicely to the edges, you can just bend the sponge a little bit and just touch up those edges. Okay, and then blend this one. Remove the fluff, change. And once the top coat goes over, look how much product actually the sponge is absorbing. Like we have used only a tiny bit of the product through this entire set, and the sponge holds so much. Touch it in there on the side if you want to. You can go really to the sides. Again on this one, nicely to the sides. If you get any product on the skin, like, you have to remove it before you cook it. This is brilliant. We can swap the hands and then watch at the top coat going on. Obviously I will clean these nails because we have done quite a lot of work, and it will look absolutely amazing once we clean those dust particles. So the top coat goes on, and that's when the baby boomer becomes an absolutely amazing looking. Make sure you do cap your free edge. And look also at this gap. So here I've got mainly natural nails, so I'm filling it up with the top coat. And then later on when the nails grow, you wouldn't be able to see the growth. So it's this technique, first of all, it prevents the lifting because there is nothing to catch. So your clients are not gonna catch it on the things. And then secondly, it will just look much nicer as well. Another nail. Also, I'm kind of playing with the nail, like going like this all the way to check if there is no dust particles or fluff from creating a baby boomer. I make sure like everything is nicely covered. Change. Because for baby boomer, I usually tend to use a little bit more top coat. You could see it, I have done only 3 nails. And then I do 1 nail in here and swap them. The reason is for it is like I don't want my top coat to run into the sides. Okay, check how the light reflects on it. Change. So that's another tip, guys, for you. Actually, I didn't manage to get away a dust particle, and I've got a huge one on my middle finger, so I will need to show you what I do in that case, because you obviously don't want to leave the nail like this. I love when the things happening on the videos. Now this corner, I can even touch up more with the top coat, just like this. Change. And then freeze it. Another nail. And then I will quickly show you how I'm fixing the middle finger as well, if you want to have a nice and clean baby boomer. I don't know why is it called baby boomer. Change. I think it should be just called faded French. Okay. Smooth the things out. Change. Okay, and then let's the middle finger should be cooked enough for me to do a gentle buffing on it. So change. Okay, and so this is ready. Because I don't want to affect my other nails, what I usually do, I pull my client's fingers up. You can see there's a dust particle encapsulated. Grab a buffer, and don't worry, you are not gonna over buff it, like you are not gonna buff away the baby boomer. You just give it a couple scratches to it. Just a couple scratches to it. Actually, doing so on all of the nails would just make your baby boomer perfect. Just cleaning this dust and then reapply the top coat. So, but I love when the things happen always in the video, because then, guys, you know how I'm fixing it. So things looks much nicer. Change. And then we have to just put the product on the thumb. Oh, damaging my brush. And then I will be able to clean the hand and show you the final results, something which I normally don't do it. I just show you the messy hands. And I hope you have guys really learned a lot from this video and you have really enjoyed it as well. All the products I have used, they are available on our website, and also the e-file, I will send you the link. Now let's fix this dust particle straight away. You have to be very gentle so you don't scratch your baby boomer. I'm just trying to pull them away. Okay, give it a wee blend. So like wiggle with your brush. And that's it, change. So this hand is ready and I can show you how I'm cleaning it. Always wait for a top coat to cool down a little bit. If you don't, the things are gonna look ugly, and then we can clean it. So I'm usually start cleaning the nail folds, just like this. You've got one clean. No, things looks always so much prettier after we clean everything. And what I love it, you cannot see it, like there is no bulk of the product, and in a 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks time the growth is not going to be visible, because we've got our lunula, you can see our lunula clearly, so the client could wear this nail for a really long time. Let me clean this one. Any product you have got it on, you can easily wipe it off as well, and then apply some cuticle oil. And I'm using the Psycho one. I love it so much. It smells absolutely amazing. So just slap it on. Again, try to don't place the product on the client's nails, because that will affect the shine of your top coat. So I'm always just gently brushing it on the sides, then massage it in, and then before I take a pictures, guys, I would remove the excess of those cuticle oil, because if you've got so much cuticle oils, things don't look nice really as well. But that's the set of the nails we have done it today. I'm sending you glittery hugs, and bye for now.